It's 2 p.m. Detroit, and you know what that means. Detroit media icon Ryan Ermanni, University of Michigan great Braylon Edwards, and of course, Maz are about to take over on Woodward Sports. Every day, 2 to 4 p.m., it's the best Detroit sports talk on Detroit's best sports network, Woodward Sports.
Hey, let's go. Friday show, April 12th, 2024. Ermanni and Edwards with Maz. Woodward Sports Network, woodwardsports.com, fox2detroit.com, or the Fox local app if you are watching live. If you're watching on YouTube, part of the over 63,000 subscribers on this platform, we say hello to you. Hit that like button, subscribe to Woodward Sports. Tell a friend about us as well. Braylon Edwards, good afternoon. To you, my friend.
Good afternoon, but before I introduce Maz and before I say anything more, you know what? P. Spivak said something as we were coming into the show, Ryan Ermanni. I think you give me so much credit all the time for Michigan and the things, and you bring up Michigan State and, you know, these good things, and I always appreciate it. But I don't think we tell you that you are exactly an icon. Over 21 years doing this in the business, you know, doing it at a high level. Everyone knows you. Everyone respects you. People tune into this show because you are Ryan Ermanni. We're located and we are with Fox 2 as we do this show because you're Ryan Ermanni. I don't think you get enough flowers, man. So when Pete said icon, I said he's absolutely right.
Hold on.
You're an icon. Hold on. What's going on? What's going on?
Hand it over, bro.
Are you checking
Hand
your
it
driver's
over.
license?
Checks in the mail. Checks in the mail. Thanks,
Appreciate that.
Braylon.
Not a problem at all.
Tom
man.
Mazaway, good afternoon to you, my friend.
Another icon.
What's up, fellas? Good to see everybody on a Friday. Weather's lousy, but you know what? It's
got each
Friday,
other.
so it's like it might as well be a sunny day, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
Gorgeous
I agree.
day today.
Gorgeous.
Got to get to the lead story here. I need to check in with Tom Mazaway on bowling night. Did he get any mystery
Maz?
balls, Tom?
No mystery balls. I bowled mediocre at best, but the Great Stromboli, that's our team name.
The great strike.
We took 7 out of 9, and we are in third, and we've got a good shot for second. We can't win, but we can get second, and that still pays well.
Did you
Okay.
fill up your envelope last night?
My envelope
Is
is
empty.
But next week, if we get second, I can replenish.
So next week's a finale.
Next week's the finale, and then the 2 first-place teams, one from each end, face off. And, of course, I'll be at the draft, so I won't be there. But I'll tell you, if my team would have won, I might
You would have had a decision to make.
I would have had a decision to make.
There would have been no decision. We would have told you, Tom Mazaway, you go ahead and
Right.
win that chip.
Right. Amen to that.
Maybe next year, but, you know, it's fun. I always have a good night on Thursday night with my boys.
Fun.
We had Larry Foote yesterday. How do you not have fun
Oh,
with
you had
Larry
Foot yesterday?
Yeah, we had Foote.
Did he have anything to say about us?
The Foot man always says, hey, say hi to the guys for me.
Love Larry
Always.
Foot.
Hey.
He loves busting Braylon's chops.
He's
Big
a hater.
time.
Nah, man, but a longtime friend of the Foot family. Ryan, something funny happened to me yesterday, right? And so I didn't know how to feel about it, so this is how I acted in the situation. Kid comes up to me. I'm at the Shell gas station. I'm about to stop by my parents' house, see my niece. Rain's getting so big.
Oh,
Like, she's getting so big, she's
Sprouts.
walking. I seen some videos.
growing like crazy.
But anyway, yeah, so I walk in the Shell gas station. I get my water. I get my gum. And the kid asked me, he said, yo, man, he said, man, give me some woods. I was like, woods or backwoods? Backwoods are what you put marijuana products in and you smoke them, right? So he's like, man, give me some woods. They're going to ID me. I'm too young. So now immediately what pops through my head is now I'm the old man.
You're the guy that used to
I'm-
give the 20 for the case of beer.
I'm the old man, like, you know, like paying for like drinks and cigarettes for the kids. So you know what I did? Instead of become Matthew McConaughey from Fast Times in Ridgemont High, where he's actually hanging out with the kids, I was like, I can't do that for you. He said, why? I said, because I'm not the old guy hanging out with the young guys. I walked out the store. That's how I handle it, though, man.
You got to do it. No,
I gotta
no,
get
no.
up
You
outta
got the
there.
wrong guy.
But I'm like, did I do the right thing? Am I like not cool?
No, you're totally cool and very responsible. In fact, if you were to get the woods,
Yeah, there you go, backwoods.
if you were to get the backwoods
The
for
woods
the
is like, that's
kid,
the hood
I
side,
would have
baby.
preferred it if you didn't admit it.
No, that wouldn't have been the story. That was no. Shout out. No, we wouldn't have been on here talking about that. Just say no.
Right. Exactly.
Just say no. But no, it was a funny story. I was like,
when I was that
like,
age, you go to the liquor store, you give the guy outside a 20 to give you a case of beer. Sometimes he came back with the beer. Sometimes he did not. But you took, you
took the gamble.
You took the gamble. That's right. That's absolutely.
He took the wrong gamble.
Oh my God, that is so funny. Braylon, a lot of people in the chat are talking about it before the show. We have the Masters on in studio with us.
Oh, the Masters.
Hey, listen, Tom. It's a beautiful event.
This is great.
Gives me peace of mind.
So I'm sitting in the studio watching the Masters, and look who pops up. Rex Ryan.
Wearing the Detroit
Lions shirt.
I can't love the guy even more.
Can you love this guy anymore?
I love you, Rex.
So we're essentially going to be doing the same thing. He's legitimately repping Detroit, but the Jets at the same time. He's a coach. That's what I'm going to be doing.
How great is that?
Yeah, that's dope. Rex is that type of guy, man. Rex is a guy that, if you remember in the comments, the only people that kind of first really started getting attached to the Lions and the bandwagon way before was Louis Riddick. Louis Riddick was one of the very first ones.
You bet.
Dan Orlovsky even was slightly late to the party, but he was. And then Rex Ryan. Rex Ryan just talks his jump because he loved Dan Campbell as a coach. He loved what the team has done. So that's real support because he's called it out.
And as somebody pointed out to me on Twitter, his son is on the Lions staff. His son Seth, and I'm just looking at it right now. Seth Ryan is an assistant wide receivers coach for the Detroit Lions.
Great.
Played football at Clemson. Seth did from 2013 to 2016. So his kid is on the Lions coaching staff as an assistant wide receivers coach. But there you go, Rex Ryan repping the Lions at the Masters. Not wearing repping Masters stuff.
No, he's not.
Repping Lions, baby.
And he knew this would be a national event, and he chose to wear Detroit Lions. I ever tell you the Seth Ryan was the pool that we did with the Jets? We did a pool. So he did a bowl game pool. Everybody.
I remember this.
Remember I told you that?
Do.
No, tell me.
Rex pulled a move. So it's his 2010 season. So this would have been a 2010-11 bowl season. We had a pool, and I think the winner was to take $5,000 or whatever it was, maybe $10,000. Can't remember the prices. And everybody can enter once. You can enter once, right? So we get towards the end, and there's 3 games or 4 games left, and Rex announces the leaders, and he kind of blew it on himself, to be honest. I think it may have been the last game. Rex announces the lead. He said, oh, look who it is in the lead. It's my boy. It was Seth Ryan. So like, whoa. That's 2 entries. You can basically make 2 different entries. Did 2 different entries. Meanwhile, I'm in the lead.
Oh, no, he didn't.
So don't you know it changed from winner take all? At first, it was winner take all. There was no second. There was no third. It was winner take all. He announced that it was 1, 2, 3, and they divvied up the prices because Seth finished third, or he finished second.
So you hate Seth Ryan?
I don't hate Seth Ryan because he was he always said he wanted to go to Clemson, so I'm glad he went to Clemson. But he owes me about $3,000. He owes me. Sounds like he has a job
You
now.
got to go down to practice one day this year.
I may have to go collect.
Go collect.
I may have to go collect.
Patrick says, hello, Detroit from Minneapolis. Love them Lions, Red Wings, Tigers, Wolverines, and even our lowly Pistons. Want to welcome Patrick into the show as well. Lou says, I like playing golf. Don't want to waste time watching someone else play golf. A lot of people, look, I'm not the biggest golf guy either. But there is something about this particular tournament, the Masters, that draws me in. And, I'm not even sure I would be as intrigued if Tiger Woods was not playing in this tournament. I mean, he, to me, is the game. He is bigger than the game. Very few individual athletes bigger than the actual sport itself, to me. And I know this is not the case for a lot of people by now. You love golf. Tiger Woods maybe have gotten you into the game, but then you've grown to love it on its own, standing on its own. For me, it's Tiger Woods is here, golf is below that. Very few athletes are bigger than the game, bigger than the sport itself. He is that to me, so I am curious to see. I'd like to see him make the cut here and play the weekend, obviously. He is in position to do that, by the way, right now.
Yeah, he's playing some good golf. I mean, every time that he gains one, he gives it right back. That's the kind of golf he's been playing. Yesterday, he's playing the same golf right now. But he's playing much better than he has. His body looks more fit. He's a lot of his putts. I get grimace every time he kneels down and look at a putt and analyze it, but he's played a lot better. So I'm excited. I'm just excited to see him still in contention to make the cut day 2.
Absolutely.
100%, and he's making some really good shots. His short game is immaculate, so it's just his driver that's killing him.
Right now, if you're watching live, if you're
This
watching,
is Golf Channel, by the way.
exactly. If you're watching on delay or on demand, as we say, sorry for this update, but Tiger Woods right now is +1. He's on the course in round 2. The cut line right now is +3, so he's got a couple of strokes there. Played 23 holes today when it's all said and done because they finished round 1 today.
What's the leaderboard? What's the leader at?
Leaderboard 7. Bryson,
So he's 8 back.
Bryson DeChambeau is the lead right now at 7 under. Then 3 others are tied at 6 under. Scotty Scheffler, the prohibitive favorite, is on the course right now. He parred his first hole. So
I hope his wife has a baby.
you know what?
I bet on it. Remember I told you I put all. Hold
I'm
on.
not going to say what I was going to say. I hope he does too because I think he might run away with it. I'd like to see a little bit of intrigue here.
I told you I was gonna put my money where my mouth is. I did. This is how you know they know he's gonna win, Ryan. So I put whatever I put on it. This morning I woke up because he's 1 back. Brian DeChambeau took the lead, but today
Scotty Scheffler, you're talking
Scotty
about.
Scheffler, he's 1 back. Already they're offering me a good amount to take because I took Scotty Scheffler. They already offered me a good cash out.
Take
Yeah.
it.
You said what? Nah, absolutely not. Like it's a good number already. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna see what happens today though, but I won't be greedy. If it's good enough after day 2, I won't be greedy.
There you go.
I'll take it out.
There you go.
Then put it back in.
They want you to take that buyout, that's for sure. Guys, let's get to the big story around here last night, and that is the Detroit Red Wings. They fall in overtime to the Pittsburgh Penguins 6-5. Detroit down 5-3 with 6 minutes to play. They somehow tie it up. And go to overtime. Washington lost last night, so you're sitting there, Braylon, Maz, and you're like, oh my God, they're 3-on-3 goal away from controlling their own destiny once again.
And they had a 2-on-1 break in overtime.
And Larkin was so tired, he was gassed.
Yeah.
He had nothing to put on it.
Lucas Raymond,
Hat trick.
hat tricks off to you. You're a one-man show, man. That was awesome. They were game as hell last night. They were 2 goals down, man, and they come back. Every time they were down 1-0, 1-1, 2-1, 3-1, 3-3, blah, blah, blah. Goes to overtime. They had a break. Couldn't get it done. You need a goaltender, obviously. We already knew that. And you need another guy, like you said, Bray. There's only one scoring line that the team has. They lost a heartbreaker, but they picked up a point that they needed. And we could put up the numbers, Pete, because they are still alive here, guys. They are still alive. If they win their 3 games, they got to go at Toronto, home and home at Montreal. If Pittsburgh just plays 500, the Red Wings jump them.
Yeah, look, you know what, Maz? And I love that they're still away. I love that there's still a path. But just like yesterday when you asked me, I said I'm 37% short positive that we can win. Because I'm tired of this being the narrative over and over. They scored goals last night. Lucas Raymond finally stepped back into what he was his rookie season. How good he was that year. He looked good. They skate with the heart. They skate with the passion. But at the same time, here we go, Ryan, yet again. If they do this, this has to happen. Every time they're in a situation, they're in the best situation. 2 nights ago when they played the Capitals, 3 nights ago, they played the Capitals. If they win, they control the destiny, or at least you'll know they'll be a higher percentage, 77% or whatever the heck it was. Then they lose that game. Then they come back. Well, if they win this game, still have a chance to control it, especially if they win it in regulation. They go to overtime, they gain a point, but here we go. Now we need a situation. And the Caps lost yesterday.
Pittsburgh was desperate, too.
No, this is very true, but
And they dominated that game, by the way.
And they got the best player.
Yeah.
One of the best players in hockey still.
And by the way, these guys still can go. You talked about Ovechkin 3 nights ago. Sid the Kid, 3 points last night in the goal.
Solid.
Mitten Maid in the chat says, toss the Wings in some sauce. They're done. Raymond is our best Red Wing, says Mike G. Patrick says Lucas Raymond. Lou, I love hockey. I am very disappointed in the Red Wings, and I'll tell you why. And I've never professed myself as the biggest hockey guy in the world. I do love it when the Red Wings are good. I paid very little attention to them over the last 7 years. I'm just going to be honest with you because I just didn't care. I don't care really about losing teams. I really don't. If you suck, I have other things to do. I'm sorry.
Except the Lions.
Except the Lions. But like, if you want to call me a front runner fan, fine. I'll accept that tag, and I won't be hurt by that if you call me that. If you suck, I have better things to do with my time. It's pretty simple. If you suck and you want to pay attention to them, waste all the time you want. But I'm just being honest. Over the last 7 years, I have paid very little attention to the Detroit Red Wings. They pulled, in the last week, so many fans back in. Hey, the Red Wings got a chance. Red Wings got a chance to make the playoffs. Oh, yeah, everybody's back in. Oh, my gosh. Joe Louis, our
LCN.
Little Caesars Arena packed. Did you see the crowd against the Capitals the other night? Packed, buzzing, ready to blow the roof off the building. Laid an egg. Dud. Okay, they lost. Then they play the Penguins. Okay, got to get a win against the Penguins. That game was not as close as the score indicated. I mean, the Red Wings scored with under 30 seconds to go in the first period. They scored with under 30 seconds to go in the second period. You know, it's all like, and I know it's a lot about luck, but Pittsburgh dominated that game. The Red Wings got completely dominated last night.
Red Wings dominated the Capitals and lost. So it goes either way.
You call that dominating. I call that you got shut out. You know, I'm just saying Pittsburgh's flying all over the ice, putting the puck in the net. That's dominating to me. If you don't score, you're not dominating. I don't go, the ice is tilted this. Oh, the ice is tilted. They've got 30 shots to 10 shots. Well, you can still lose 10-0.
Right.
Oh, one.
You know what I mean?
They don't have a Stanley Cup winning goaltender. We know that, but you knew that going in. All we wanted to do is compete, and that's exactly what they did. And they still have a chance to get in the dance.
And that's great, and I hope they do. Let me finish this point. Yeah. It's great. They do. You're right, Maz. But 2 biggest games this team has played in 7 years, and they've lost them both. It's disappointing. Could you get us back? Sure. Go win and get in. But it's disappointing to say the least. That's for sure.
You said they pull everybody back in. I'm going to use another word as well. They pulling everybody's heartstrings. Been doing so. They got everybody all up. Maz, and I understand, look, man, they played well last night. They scored some goals. They did it in the clutch. You can give them all the kudos you want. They lost.
They were game.
They lost. They weren't game enough. They lost. They lost to the Capitals. You're talking about a team that controlled their destiny. Dylan Larkin gets hurt. So what? You still got players on your team. Do you rise to the occasion? You lost 7 in a row. 7 in a row. You bring in DeBrincat, who everybody gets excited about. He's one of Michigan's own. He grew up around the corner, and he's going to be one of those guys. He hasn't scored. He scored 1 goal in 20 games. 20 games. Like, you're not stepping up to the challenge. So you lose 7. Dylan comes back. You flutter a little bit. Now you get everybody's hopes up. Then, like Ryan said, here's the most important game. Drop a turd. Then here's the next most important game. You drop a deuce. Right? This is.
I love that.
It sucks because you understand their gas. You understand it's been a long season, but so what? Like, this is a playoff team. We don't know what they're going to do in the playoffs, but this is a playoff team. So it sucks when you get to this point, and now you're just trying to limp in by the grace of God. Like, it's now the fans have to turn off again, and then turn on again in the second period, then turn off in the third. It's nerve-wracking to the fans that are trying to believe in this team.
So many comments in the chat. I'm going to read some of them right now. Preach, Braid, to bring crap. To bring kit is now to bring crap. I can't even say it, but I understand. Yeah. Ryan's got a bit of a bro hog going up top. Hey, come on now, man. I've been up since 4:30. Cut me some slack here, okay? DeBrincat is got the most goals the first 2 weeks of the season. He's been crap since.
He's been invisible lately.
The Penguins tossed the Wings around like ragdoll soft serve. Miracles can happen. Wings were in the dance but fell out because of a 7-game losing streak when Larkin went out.
Right. That's a fact. That's the season.
Yeah.
I understand, but let me ask this. Is losing Dylan Larkin like losing Austin Matthews? Is losing Dylan Larkin like losing one of these superstars? Like, at the end of the day, Larkin's not out there tearing up. No. He's the best player on the Red Wings 100%. But it's not like you lost one of the great ones in the NHL and all of a sudden you just can't win that.
But there's not enough other pieces. So he's the piece that you needed to have the car run. It's like your car, your truck.
Yeah.
It's what do you call it again? It's a
Denali?
Not gas, but
diesel.
It's a diesel. So if you don't put the diesel fuel in, your car's not going to
You'll
run
be at the dealership
properly.
like I was.
All right, so I'm just telling you,
later.
there's 3 games left. If they do make a run and get in the playoffs, I believe that they will be competitive in that first round of the playoffs. I believe that.
Okay, let me ask you this, man. What makes you think they'll be competitive?
Because I like what I've seen. I like what I saw last night. As much as the Penguins were home,
right,
and they're the better team, and they did what they had to do, but the Red Wings, the way they came back, I just see them as a together team. They look like they're gelling. It sounds dumb, but it looks like they're gelling again. If they win these next 3 games, I'm telling you, 5 out of 6 points maybe. Who knows what could happen?
Man, it doesn't sound dumb because remember what I said yesterday about the Capitals game? I was pissed they lost, but you know what I saw? I saw them getting shots on goal, something they hadn't been doing in the losing slump that they had. So I did see that, and I was all right, well, maybe there is. So I do see that. They're getting shots on goal. They scored 5 goals last night. But it's just when you lose these games in a pinch and now you need another one, now you need more, now as opposed to winning the Capitals game, now as opposed to winning this one and maybe something happened, now you got to win 3. The mental, it just drains you. Like, it's emotional, it's mental, and it's physical, draining the rest of the season. That's what it's saying.
Toronto's locked into their spot.
Yeah.
Montreal is playing for nothing. But
True.
Toronto, believe me, would love to deal the death blow to the Red Wings.
The original 6,
Let's
they
face
hate
it,
each other.
They don't like each other. So they're going to be ready. It's going to be in Toronto. I don't know what they call it anymore. It's not Air Canada, is it? Whatever. They're playing in Toronto. It's going to be a hostile crowd no matter what. They hate the Red Wings. We hate Toronto. And then you got Montreal home and home to end the regular season.
Except
They'll
DJ Tom T.
Yeah, I know. So
DJ Tom T.
2 Canadian teams. Red Wings got to knock them off and then let the chips fall where they may. Islanders are playing great. They locked up number 7. There's 3 teams playing for 1 spot.
This is one of the great collapses, I think, in Detroit sports history. And I don't mean that like just to say something. I mean, if you go and just look at where they were, at the end of February, they have lost 15 of the last 20 games. Now, some of them have been overtime losses. Yes, the 7-game losing streak with Larkin out, I understand that. But when you are in a strong position to make the playoffs for the first time in 7 years, you haven't won a playoff series in 10 years, this is and has been, if they don't make it, one of the great collapses in this city's history, because you have lost 15 of the last 20 games you've played.
What was the one Lions year where they won a bunch of games in a row and then lost a ton at the end, lost in a row?
I don't
Plenty
remember.
of them.
Yeah, which one? Which one are you talking about?
Another one bites the dust.
Say less. My apologies.
I mean, come on, guys. I mean, do you think I'm overstating it there?
No,
I mean,
15 of 20 is
15 of 20 losses.
Yeah, that's not good. That's obviously they did this to themselves.
Kind of tells you a little bit about where this team is, and maybe the hope of, if they get into the playoffs, well, yeah, you'll get the 2 home games for sure, but I mean, this team's just not ready for prime time yet, and this is a little bit of a microcosm of what you would see if they did get into the playoffs, right?
Yeah.
You're going to lose a close game, like a 2-0 game to Washington, one where you may have tilted the ice and outshot the other team, but you're still going to lose.
Shootout.
So you're going to lose that way, and you could lose in a
shootout,
6-5
thriller.
overtime shootout.
Yeah.
So you can lose every which way.
And that was my biggest question.
Not there yet. They're not there yet.
Down the stretch, that was my biggest question. The one that I keep raising about not having that superstar on the team is, when you get to this space right here, like, even if you get in, like Ryan, you just called it, like this is going to be their recipe. This seems to be what they are. They'll get up for contention, but they'll lose at the end either way. I hope they get in, but it seems like we're seeing exactly what they're going to be once they get in.
You know what we forgot to cover yesterday, and we'll keep it in the hockey family, was Michigan was in the Frozen Four last night. I get to the bowling alley, and I'm like, oh, good. Frozen Four is going to be tomorrow. So we got something that we're going to chat about. And I'm like, oh, God, they're playing right now. So the first game, Denver and Boston University, BU, they go to overtime. Denver wins it. Phenomenal finish. So Denver's going to wait for the winner of Michigan and BC, Boston College, number 1 team in the country. And Michigan went out and laid an egg. Again, they got shut out 4-0. They have lost 9 of their last 10 Frozen Four games, have not won the championship since 1998. And then I read that they'll probably be back in the Final Four next year, in the Frozen Four next year, because they've got that whole team coming back, plus some new guys coming in. So keep it in the hockey realm. That's a tough loss there for Zip.
I get frustrated. I haven't watched it in a couple of times. I'll be honest. Look, I love every sport that is in Michigan, and I know Ryan to jump in because I was excited
Everything you're
of football.
saying just attribute to me too, because I know what you're going to say. Keep going.
100%. Like I'm thinking this is the year. Like I'm tired of turning in. They lose to Notre Dame. They lost to Boston U another year. This is the year because
College.
This is the same year Michigan football won, which is the same year.
That was my freshman
97
year.
Your freshman year. Football won 97. Hockey won 97 as well. I said this.
Basketball won the Big Ten championship tournament that year. Travis Conlon, tractor trailer.
Mo Taylor, Lou Bullock. I said this is the year. Here we go again. Not only did they lose, they got shut out. What is it about closing the door? Michigan football finally did it, but what is it about basketball, baseball, softball, hockey? We cannot shut that final door as Michigan. Baseball team was in it a couple years ago, they lost. Softball team was in it a couple years, they lost. Basketball team's been in numerous times. Got cheated one year, but it's neither here nor there.
I was so engrossed in the Wings last night, I flipped over. I saw it was 1-0.
Knew it was.
Then it was over. Like I didn't even go back to see if they won. I was driving to work this morning listening to WWJ News Radio 950, trying to get my traffic and weather on the 8s. And it's real early. There's not a lot of stuff to listen to. And they said that the Michigan lost. So I was like, oh, great. Yeah. I mean, Michigan hockey, it's great. I hope they win. I'd rather them win than
You're missing
lose.
out on a good sport.
Yeah.
College hockey is fantastic.
That's great. I went to 2 games in my 4 years at Yost.
Oh, nice.
Michigan State had
great.
the best.
It's
Michigan
great.
State would have been the better foe for Boston College, and Michigan knocked them off. Michigan lost all year to Michigan State, and then MSU.
I remember that. I did want to win that game.
Then Michigan beats them a couple of
matters
Sundays
in the
ago,
end.
and they go in and they lay an egg. But BC is the best team in the country, so
Right.
it is what it is.
True. It's funny. Both teams are from Boston. Oh, well, Denver won.
Yeah,
right?
but and BU lost to
BU
Denver.
lost,
Yeah.
Hey, quickly, just back to the Wings real quick. Sidney Crosby,
Said the kid.
got to be on the top 5 list of most hated Detroit opponents.
Got his
Detroit
1,000th. He got his 1,000th assist last night.
I don't hear you. I don't
I
hear
said
me. Oh, there we
got
go.
his
Yeah.
I said he got his 1,000th assist last night.
On Detroit. It was, man, 09 was so, that pissed me off.
I know. I mean,
Kalani Malkin killed this too.
like I hate Sidney Crosby. Fine person, I'm sure. Respect the hell out of him. But he's one of those guys that you just hate as a Detroit opponent. Kind of like
Robert
Ory, Nelson Cruz. He's, Chris Chelios was on that list for a number of years.
He was.
Claude Lemieux.
Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers is on that list.
Aaron Rodgers.
Brett Favre.
Brett Favre is
Favre.
on that list.
Yeah.
Pretty incredible stuff. All right, guys. Hey, coming up next, we'll transition to the NFL. We are going to be talking to our good friend Scott Bischoff, NFL scout staff writer for the Football Guys Lions podcast. We're going to talk to him about all things draft. Also, the names of the players that are going to be attending the draft have been revealed.
Ooh.
One guy who won't be there that I am shocked by and really saddens me. I'll let you know who that is coming up next. But first, a message from the morning show.
That is correct. And oh, by the way, Ryan, can you let Braylon know that he's up next? So he doesn't get surprised. There you go. It's Wake Up Woodward right here, Monday through Friday, 8 to 10 a.m. right here on Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports. Check the star out, Matt Broder. That's right, along with Flannel Sam. You got Kool-Aid there. You got JB and KG all there to wake you up. Woodward, 8 to 10 a.m. right here on Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports. Bray, are you ready, my friend?
Shake Shack and Woodward Sports want me to remind you that football season is all year long. That's why we're talking about the draft right now in Detroit this year. But we want to give you a chance to win 2 tickets to the Detroit home opener. That's right. It's the QB Challenge from Shake Shack. All you got to do is scan the QR code on the screen right now, and you will be good to go. You will be registered. Or go to woodwardsports.com, click the link. And also, but what you should do is go on down to Shake Shack, try that Chicken Shack sandwich, and register in person. It's the QB Challenge. Win 2 tickets.
And with the first pick in the 2024 Media Draft, Detroit selects Woodward Sports. Thank you for making us the #1 digital network in Detroit.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime.
Congratulations to the real Coach of the Year, Motor City Dan Campbell.
Just put your head down and go to work. It's about to be fun, man. It's about to be fun.
Woodward Sports.
Any Lady Jane's haircuts for men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's haircuts for men. It's wicked awesome.
You smell that? That's Brad Holmes cooking. And the off-season smells good. Woodward Sports.
Planet Fitness is home of the judgment-free zone where anyone can work out at their own pace the way that they want to. That's the type of offering. That's the type of service that Planet Fitness gives you. Your fitness is essential at Planet Fitness, so you might want to come on down, give the gym a try. It's only $10 a month. That's right, only $10, and they feature the squeaky clean gym. Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
13 players, 13 of them, only 13, as of today, have accepted an invitation to head to Detroit to be part of the NFL draft. I do not like the fact that only there should be 30 guys, 20 guys, 25 guys. I think that minimizes the excitement of the draft. You want the reaction. Let me show you the list of the 13 players that are expected to be here in Detroit for the NFL draft. Terrion Arnold, Jaden Daniels, Marvin Harrison Jr., J.C. Latham, Latu, Drake May, Quinnen Mitchell, Malik Neighbors, Roma Dunze, Darius Robinson, Brian Thomas Jr., Dallas Turner, and Caleb Williams. One name you do not see there is J.J. McCarthy.
Hometown guy.
I am shocked that he is not going to be here at this draft because for a lot of people down there, that's the big pop, right? I mean, your local guy getting drafted in the top 5, top 6, top 10. I'm surprised by that.
I never was a fan of all the 40 guys and 60 guys and 80 guys and 90 guys and however many guys they've had at the draft. Like, I like it when you keep it a lower number. When I was at the draft, we did 7. I mean, you can be more than that, but 13 is a good number. Yeah, you don't need to see 45 guys at the draft and they're all waiting. Sometimes guys have to wait a little bit too long, and maybe for them it gets a little embarrassing. Our own Brian Branch had to go home and then come back. I like when they have the right amount of guys that are going to go in that top 25 so that they're there. With J.J. McCarthy, I guarantee you they're going to do some type of deal at Chrysler Arena. I guarantee it's going to be something at Chrysler Arena or maybe something at Schembeck or something that he wants to do with the team. You know all he cares about. He's not a guy that cares about the glitz, the glamour. He does not care about the fanfare. He doesn't care about the mass, the crowd. He cares about the team. And this is not me knowing. I guarantee you J.J. McCarthy is going to do something with the boys in blue up in Ann Arbor.
Fair enough. Hey, let's go to North Carolina. My goodness, our good friend Scott Bischoff, NFL scout, staff writer for the Football Guys, Lions podcast on X, on Twitter at Bischoff_Scott. Scott, I cannot believe this is the first time we've talked to you in this entire process. Scott, how are you, my friend?
What's been up?
I am doing well. How are you guys?
Doing
well,
fantastic, man.
Good, Scotty.
Doing fantastic.
Good to see you guys.
Great to see you. Let me just start with your reaction. What do you make of the 13 players that have accepted the invitation to Detroit, and are you surprised that J.J. McCarthy is not?
I mean, it's a nice list of players, but it doesn't surprise me at all that McCarthy isn't coming. Braylon, I think, has said everything accurately. He's a team guy. He's going to celebrate it with the Michigan guys. It's sort of well known within that program what he's all about. A very impressive kid. It's a bummer he's not here, but his priority is his team, and he's still a Michigan Wolverine. So, smart. I think it's smart for him, but I don't think we'll have to wait real long to hear his name either. So it'll be interesting.
Scott, I'm glad you said that. Good to talk to you. It's been a long time. Let's stick with J.J. McCarthy and not being a long time. Do you think that the Minnesota Vikings are going to be able to stay at 11 and get J.J. McCarthy, or do you believe all the hype that they will indeed move up, or someone will indeed move up to attain J.J. McCarthy within the top 6 picks?
Yeah, but I'm not sure McCarthy gets past pick 3, to be honest.
Oh, there we go.
Think about the New England Patriots and everything they are, and the most perfect match in this draft is J.J. McCarthy. They need a quarterback.
Tommy 2.0.
He can sit a little bit. He does not that he has to, but he can sit behind Jacoby Brissett just a touch. But when you look at a guy whose perspective is all about football, I think at this point in time it's almost legend. His behavior, in a good way, of taking the Michigan program, putting it on his back post COVID, and winning a national championship while telling others. If you're not here to play football, if you're looking to party and all that stuff, even as a 17-year-old kid, don't come to Michigan. We're not about that. I just think he's a perfect match for the Patriots. I'm not saying the Patriots 100% are making that pick, but I think there's I think that's the thought process for some agents and some people who know that he's not going to get past 3. So it's just a matter of what does Washington do? And does somebody jump in front of New England for JJ? We'll see.
Scott, let me ask you just about your evaluation of JJ McCarthy as an NFL scout. We have heard scouts in the past, general managers, say this is a unique player because we just don't want to say don't know how to evaluate him, but his skill set is much more advanced than what he was actually asked to do in games at Michigan. How difficult was your evaluation of him? Just take it from there.
It's a tough evaluation, but I think helmet scouting and then just looking at stats and production itself is a mistake as far as looking at the quarterback position. Trying to evaluate quarterbacks is super, super difficult because there's a lot of unknown. You don't know exactly what an offense is doing. You don't know what he's being tasked to do. So there's a lot of unknown. There's a lot of questions that you have to try to get answers to. But so as far as so what I do, it's just what does he look like when he's throwing the ball? What are his mechanics like? What are his feet like? How does he react to pressure? How mobile is he? What can he do when plays break down? What does an offense ask him to do? I don't care that. To be honest, I don't really care that they threw the ball one time against Penn State, and I know it was a penalty, so it really didn't count. But I don't care. I mean, in the second half, to me, it doesn't matter so much. I think this is the guy who ran the Michigan offense and was willing to run the Michigan offense. And if that meant we were handing it off 20, 30 times, so be it. We won, and that's his perspective. From a traits standpoint, which is I think where scouts get into the things that he can do. When you look at his feet and how well connected his feet are to the timing and rhythm of a play, and how disciplined he is with it, staying in the pocket and taking care of all that kind of stuff. He's really good at that stuff. I think he can make every throw. He's got plenty of arm strength. And then I look at the throw he makes to Colston Loveland over the middle of the field against Michigan State. It's probably one of the best throws in college football last year. And then repeating that same throw against Ohio State to Roman Wilson, both for touchdowns. Just ridiculous throws, right? And those are throws that you don't always see. Those are NFL level throws into the middle of the field, down the field. JJ, the story goes that he saw the Michigan State linebacker on film turn his head at a point after at a certain point in his drops, and then asked to target that. So, I mean, that's the level of intelligence, of football IQ and smarts that JJ McCarthy has to see this, to spot this on film, and then to make that throw. Just dirty throws. And I think that, I don't know if you guys have talked to other people who are willing to go out on a limb for JJ, but there's a lot of Joe Burrow in JJ McCarthy's game. In terms of the kind of like, I don't want to say bad words, but the FU kind of throws that he does make, and Burrow's got that kind of stuff in his game.
Scott, can I just stop you for a second?
Yes, sir.
3 months ago, 4 months ago, maybe even 5 months ago, the exact comparison. Made that exact comparison. I think whoever gets this guy is getting the best quarterback in this draft.
You're a genius if you made that comparison.
Thank you.
No, it's just the arrogance. It's the arrogance to make those kind of throws, the willingness to do it, and then to pull it off. Like, there's a lot of quarterbacks who can't pull that off. He does. I love him as a prospect. Caleb Williams has his own set of issues. He's a magician, the way he throws the ball and all that stuff. But after Williams, I would say, I would be all in. If I needed a quarterback, I'd want McCarthy in this class.
Yeah, Scott, it's funny. I agree with you, although I don't call it arrogance. I think there's a simple subtlety and confidence in it. It's more like a Matt Stafford. Matt Stafford can make throws that maybe 3 quarterbacks in the NFL can make, and he's not arrogant about it. It's just that confidence. This is what I could do, and I think that's what you see in JJ is he's been doing it. Like he when he was just getting pulled in games, when he was coming in for Cade McNown, when he was coming in, Cade McNown played with UCLA back in the day, but he was coming in for Cade.
Yeah,
exactly. When he was coming in for Cade McNamara, you would see him come in, not warmed up, and make these throws down the field. They were confidence throws, and that's what you see more and more with Pro Day. I think he's just so confident, but it's an effortless confidence, man. It's much like Matt Stafford, where it's not arrogance. It's just I'm confident. This is what I can do. I'm not making a big deal about it, but I can do this.
Yeah, and think about him away from the Michigan program, where they didn't put it's not like they put handcuffs on him or any of that kind of stuff, but they did not really want him forcing the ball down the field, throwing the ball down the field.
They didn't need to.
Exactly. So, but that's who he is. Is like, okay, yes, I'm going to have to eat in the draft process, I'm going to have to eat it about the production. I'm willing to do that to win football games and ultimately win a national championship. To me, that says a lot that a kid is willing to do that, at his own peril. And when I say arrogance, I don't mean it in a negative. I think it's a great thing. I think it's one of the things that makes him stand out from the others in this class is an understanding of what he is capable of doing and the ability to pull it off. And it's remarkable to watch him do some of this stuff, and then make throws on the run the way he does. That's hard to do. Going both ways too, run either to his left or his right, and that's all tied into his feet. His game is a product of his super disciplined footwork. And his accuracy, down the field, on the run, all that stuff. He's an impressive player.
That's great, man. We love talking quarterbacks. Unfortunately, the Lions are not going to be in a position to take a quarterback, nor do they need one right now at this point. So let's talk about pick number 29. You're on the clock, Scott Bischoff. You are now Brad Holmes. The Lions had a bunch of cornerbacks in here. They watched them. They need help in the defensive backfield. They need help on the defensive line. Supposedly, they need help in the wide receiver area as well. Where are you going with pick number 29?
Who are the first 28 picks? They need offensive line help too, and I say that from this perspective that Frank Ragnow is one of the best centers in the NFL, but there, he's got some issues piling
wear
up.
and tear.
The chronic toe and all the stuff piling up. We know from watching Jared Goff that he's a product of how clean they're going to keep him and how protected he is. And I just don't think it's in the DNA of a guy like Brad Holmes to ignore the things that make that offense go. I'm not saying they take an interior offensive lineman at 29, but it would not totally surprise me if they did. A player who had guard center versatility, who could step in year one and play either as a guard or a center at a reasonable level. This is a great draft to need an offensive lineman. But you did talk about the other positions. Wide receivers, I think it's a more important need, it's a more pressing need than we know. There are some really interesting prospects after after what I would say are the big four. I would start to include Brian Thomas in the equation as a top 15 kind of player in this class. And then there's a group, whether and you have to consider too, like what kind of players does Jared Goff like, and and what do they do well? The route running technicians, the guys who are super reliable and get to their landmarks, get to where they're supposed to be at the time that they're supposed to be there. Those are the players that I would expect Brad Holmes to go after. And in that regard, you're looking at a player like Ladd McConkey from Georgia. I think would be a really intriguing player in this offense. Super dynamic route runner, much more athletic than and fast than anybody really thinks. Roman Wilson is an intriguing player, not in round one, but a little bit later in the draft. But there's a player from South Carolina who's very intriguing. Xavier Legette is a big bodied guy. I want to say he's 6 foot and 220 pounds. He ran 4.39. He had a 39-inch vertical. Crazy good athlete. Think of Debo. Think about the way San Francisco uses Debo Samuel, and that's a little bit what you would. Yeah, that's a little bit how you'd be using him in this offense.
Faster, though.
Screens, jets. Screens, jets. He's like a bowling ball. And he's really good down the field with the ball in the air. It's like he levitates. It's really interesting to watch him play. As far as edge goes, I think there's one player in that range that they might consider. That's Darius Robinson from Missouri. Although to me, he's a touch redundant with Josh Pascal. I think he's better interior than he would be as an edge defender. So there's some of that, but people want to compare him a little bit to Cam Jordan, which I think is a touch rich, but from a body style, play style standpoint, I could see it. And then, as far as corners go, it's an interesting group. I don't know that there is a perfect match for corner and pick 29. I think that there's a couple players a little bit later. Chris Abrams-Drain from Missouri is like a round 2 player who matches them really well. Physical, very sticky in coverage kind of player. People want to attach Kool-Aid McKinstry to the Lions at 29. I don't know that they're going to really love his game. If they do, that's fine. I think he needs to be a touch more physical. Not allowing a player to cross his face when he's pressing or when he's up in tight coverage. There are times when he will allow that to happen, and that's a problem. It's something that you really can't do. The Lions love corners who turn their back on the opposing quarterback and run with receivers and do the pattern matching stuff. So you want to find those guys who are super instinctive and can run routes for receivers. And Quinion Mitchell is a player that I think that would be great, but he should be long gone. Terrion Arnold is a good player. Again, I think he's gone before the Lions pick. So there's your we've done draft stuff together in the past, and it's always been super fun because they've drafted really early. Pick 9 is or 29 is very different.
It is.
It
is.
So it's not quite as exciting.
I know. That's what we've been talking about. You didn't mention the guy I really love, and that's Cooper DeJean. Would you please tell me how to first say his name and tell me, B, how do you like him?
I think it's Cooper DeJean, but, you could call him either one. I like him, but more as a free safety kind of player, where I think he's a nice player if you're playing a lot of zone, where he's allowed to react to things that are, to plays that are happening in front of him, so he can get out of his pedal, or he can react on stuff that's breaking in front of him. But when he has to flip his hips or turn his hips, I would worry that he's going to struggle in terms of staying in coverage and in phase. So I think you're looking at more of a safety player, more of a free safety type than a corner. And, do they do they want to take a player who I think has to transition to play safety? I know he's going to give you some return game stuff. And he's a good athlete. It's just, I don't think he's great with his lateral quickness. I think there's a little bit of stiffness in the way he turns and transitions. But when you ask him to come forward and break on things that he's seeing in front of him, he's fine. That's not necessarily what the Lions do with their corners. So I don't know if he's a great fit in Detroit.
Okay.
Scott, let me ask you this question. Now, we can sit there and talk about what to do at 29 all day long, but we know that Brad Holmes likes to be aggressive. Last year, he drafted back to get Jahmyr Gibbs and Jack Campbell. Ultimately, the year before, he moved up to get Jamison Williams. Are there some players that you see him potentially moving up for in the mid to late first rounds? Not moving up to to pick 7 or pick 11. But I'm talking about pick 18, pick 17. You got La'atu Lata. You have Gerard Verse out of Florida State. Are there some players within that 15 to 21 that you see them potentially moving up for?
You mentioned both of them. Latu
there it is.
one, right? I mean,
yeah, 100%.
He is one.
He's a freak of nature, I think.
He would he'd really complete your defensive line and give you a player who wins a very different way than anybody they have. And that's with his, with pretty really good quickness, and he's great with his hands.
Yeah,
and Verse is a monster. Verse is a really, really good football player. If the Lions' window to win is right now, so I could see them. The interesting thing about Holmes is that he's put this team in a position where he could do anything. He could trade up, he could trade back. There's like a 91 pick window between round 3 and round 5 where they don't have a pick, so they need to fill that window with a pick, with a pick or two. And the only way that you really do that is to move back from some point. But having said that, I could see them trading up. I could see them getting aggressive with the player that they covet and jumping up to, 16, 18, 20, whatever it is, and landing that player and feeling like, all right, we've just, with the players that with Carlton Davis, you traded for him and Amik Robertson, we're okay at corner. We still have other picks. We can address it. But this player really helps the entire defensive line, which, correlates with with helping our secondary because they don't have to cover as long because we're getting pressure faster kind of stuff. So I didn't answer anything, but everything is wide open for what Brad Holmes might do.
Hey, Scott, let me ask you about the Michigan guys, 18 of them at the Combine. There was an NFL executive that said the Michigan guys were 2 years ahead of everybody else, just in their football acumen, how they played the game, the system that they ran, how they talked about the game, how they were able to break down the game in meetings. Of those 18 guys that were there, what would you put an over-under at? 12, 10? 14 of Michigan guys getting drafted in this draft.
So I would go high, not necessarily higher than 14, but I would think the number would be a little more. The back end of this draft is not going to be great just because of situationally where college football is. With the post-COVID stuff, the COVID year for everybody. If you know that these players are physically ahead of their challengers, and you know that they understand football, and obviously you've seen it, you're going to take a chance on those guys because they're going to help you right now on special teams. Some of this stuff has a lot to do with the trainer who left Michigan. That was
Ben Hurley.
That was it's a huge loss for Michigan, and he was, that dude was an impressive person. As an aside, just personally, he did things that I just can't believe that he did. He texted with my son is 16 now. He was 14 at the time, and I asked him a couple questions at a practice I was at, and he gave me some advice for my son Joey, and he followed up a lot. It stuns me that he would do this, just to see how he was doing with the exercises that he had asked him to do. And it blows me away that this guy would take time out of his day to do that. It just blows me away. And I was hoping he would stay at Michigan, but I fully understand why he ended up with the Chargers. And that's just a home run for the Chargers to have a guy like that. But he was different. And the Michigan guys are different. It reminds me back, 10 years ago when the Michigan State guys we're physically superior to a lot of other players. But Michigan's guys are like that. Like, and I think some of it's mentality too. Like you look at Roman Wilson's story, of him getting on planes while he was in high school to go play football in Hawaii. That dude's been a pro since he was in high school, operating as with the mindset that the goal is to play in the NFL. It's just impressive what Michigan has done. There's no other way to put it.
I didn't know that.
All right, Scott. Final question. It's going to be a bit of a loaded one. Well, not loaded, but it's a Caleb Williams. I am not a Caleb Williams guy. I think you're on the opposite side of that. I want you to tell me why. Jaden Daniels and Drake May. We heard some Merrill Hodge. He's been, Merrill Hodge says this is a quarterback that's going to get you fired. Where are you on these 3 quarterbacks ahead of JJ or projected ahead of JJ? And why do you believe Caleb Williams is going to be a great NFL player, if you do?
I don't know what Caleb Williams is going to be. I think he's very gifted with some things that he does do. One of the things that I think is his unique gifts in the world is his spatial awareness. And it's just like, it is crazy when he's moving around, his understanding of where other people are. But the problem there is, and I don't know how much of this is program driven, but the problem there is that he wants to put on the Superman cape all the time. And he'll turn down very simple throws. Like, hey, we designed a screen pass for Marshawn Lloyd, and it's wide open, and you turned it down to roll out and eventually force the ball, out of bounds 35 yards downfield. I think he's going to drive offensive coordinators crazy. But he does have gifts. He can throw the ball in a very unique way. It's just, that's a volatile situation. I think the situation with his father and, trying to force him to a certain place may be something that potentially happens. I think the Bears do love him, but it's not necessarily the stablest situation with him. And then I think there's some maturity and insecurity stuff there where, he to me is, he's scary. I understand it. I mean, I get it with the upside. It's just how much upside, how often are you going to hit the upside there, right? Like I don't know. I don't know so much with him. He would scare me. But as far as the other two, I think Jaden Daniels could fall in this draft a little bit. I don't necessarily know where his home is if it's not Washington. To me, he is a very scheme-specific player where you'd have to design half-field concepts for him and have him do a lot of rolling out, or mirror concepts where, you have receivers on one side of the field doing the same thing on the other side of the field. It's a little bit easier to defend. Obviously he's a great runner, but it is funny at times watching him run with the ball, because it's almost like he likes to get lit up. And lit up. Right? Like that. You cannot.
It takes a lot of contact.
He really does. And there's a play against Florida State where it's like a draw where there's no running back, and he just decides he's going to run up the middle, and when he gets to the line of scrimmage, he's going to jump, right? And it's like, you're going to get killed if you take contact like that. But and I think there's some off the field stuff with him too, where I just don't know exactly where he lands. And Drake May, I don't totally get, and I'll admit it. I don't totally get it.
Poor man's Justin Herbert. Very
poor man's. Where, there's some stuff where it's like, hey, you just ran like a hitch route and you threw it at his feet. And that's like a super simple throw. He has a really weird release. He's got very, I don't want to say bad footwork, but it's not super efficient. And it leads to him sailing the ball or throwing the ball in the dirt. And there's a little Phillip Rivers to a little shot put kind of like stuff in his delivery. His release is really long. It takes a long time. And if you can get him, if you're a defense and if all you have to do is get him to reset his feet, and he's in trouble. And then the other thing he does, and he drifts, like he'll drift in the pocket right or left and make his job so much more difficult by just moving a couple steps to the right or to the left and not understanding necessarily where pressure is coming from. And it's just, there's stuff on film where it's just like, oh, That play could have been so much easier, but you're making it a lot harder than it needs to be. That's why I like JJ significantly more than I like some of the other quarterbacks in the class.
Man, that's a lot of great info, man.
Yeah,
the great Scott Bischoff. We can't thank you enough for your time.
Always a
Hopefully
pleasure.
you get back to golf now. Hit it straight. You watching the
Oh
Masters,
my
by
gosh,
the way,
it's
at all?
been a disaster.
You know what happens is when the Masters comes on, it's Masters weekend. Everybody's dialed in. Everybody believes that all of a sudden that they can embody on the course what they see on TV. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like
I
that.
have not thrown a club yet, but it's early. We'll see.
Check out Scott,
Appreciate you.
DetroitLionsPodcast.com, FootballGuys.com, and of course on Twitter at Bischoff_Scott. Thanks so much, my friend.
Thanks,
really
buddy.
appreciate it. Great to talk to you again, bud.
Thanks, guy. Appreciate you.
Thanks, guys. Be well.
You got
See
it.
you,
You
bud.
as well. Great stuff there. Guy knows so much about
down
these
there.
players coming out
How
of
about
college.
Drake May? He drifts in the pocket. He's got a hitch in his step.
Oh, my
and I thought of Phil Rivers when he was talking about it, and then he says Phil Rivers. But Phil Rivers did all right. All right.
Hall of Famer.
Yep, could be.
Well, they're both quarterbacks from North Carolina.
That's right. Guys, we're going to take a break. When we come back, Braylon walks us down a new segment, Realistic Expectations. How about that? But first, a message from us here at Woodward Sports. Talk a little merchandise.
That's right, everybody. Head to shop.woodwardsports.com and check out the latest gear. Here, I'll throw a few up on the screen for all you guys at home to take a look at. Look at this stuff. Oh, yeah. Look at this. This is some
Gorgeous.
heavy stuff. We got
Gorgeous.
some new stuff here at shop.woodwardsports.com.
Gorgeous.
It is absolutely wonderful. So head there right now and pick yourself up some of the latest hats, hoodies, and tees that are guaranteed to turn heads. All at shop.woodwardsports.com. And let's head over now to the great Braylon Edwards.
That's right. What's better than crispy chicken and pizza while watching your favorite team play? The answer is nothing. Let me tell you about Soroki's, who now they're featuring the Nashville Hot. The Nashville Hot is back. Limited offer, so you want to get down on it now. The Nashville Hot pizza is amazing with the chicken tenders, Nashville Hot fries, and the Nashville Hot chicken sandwich at Soroki's. The perfect takeout option. Featuring hand-breaded fried chicken, New York pizza, fresh salads, and sides. Check out their full menu online at Sorokis.com. That's Sarokis. Sorokis.com.
You smell that? That's Brad Holmes cooking. And the off-season smells good. Woodward Sports.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media. And we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network. The most talked about Detroit media by other.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
Is that an octopus in your pants, or are you just happy to see me? See what I did there? Go Red Wings! From Octopi Experts Woodward Sports.
Hey, gang! Need a new car? Need a new ride for the summer? How about a Corvette? Ooh, maybe a Buick, maybe a Cadillac. Get you a new Escalade or something like that. Head on out to Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac Buick GMC. That's right, Les Stanford has added the Buick GMC brands to their fleet as well. The Buick GMC store located in Ferndale on Woodward Avenue, just south of 9 Mile. And if you're looking for a Chevy or a Cadillac, Les Stanford in Dearborn, where they have been on Michigan Avenue for over 55 5 years. You can find the brand you want. All 4 GM brands under one umbrella. LesStanford.com, LesStanford.com.
Together, let's drive.
And you can drive right to get yourself a haircut at Lady Jane's. Awesome is when a guy can be a guy.
Got my
and
hair
get
washed yesterday.
Oh, yeah, Braylon. Get an
amazing.
amazing haircut or a wash or a hot lather neck shave, whatever you want. That's Lady Jane's. Haircuts for men. Stop in, sit back, relax. Let one of Lady Jane's talented stylists make you look and feel great. Walk in anytime, 7 days a week. Lady Jane's. It's wicked awesome. Hey, welcome back, Woodward Sports on a Friday. Braylon, we'll send it over to you, buddy.
Yeah, cool. You know, I said let's do something different. Looking at these teams, everybody right now is all of a sudden they're pegged to go to the AFC Championship or the NFC Championship or even get to the Super Bowl. Just want to look through the teams and say, you know, is it realistic or not? Now, what are their odds? What are their chances? You can break it down, and we can only pick certain teams. We don't have to pick the best of the whole NFL. We can pick the best of the best or the teams that might be sleeper teams. So Pete, I'm pick. And Mike, if you will, go ahead and throw those teams up, the NFL teams on the backboard, so we have it. And once I say something, this team can he get to the Super Bowl? Can he get to a deep run in the playoffs? You say you got them beat? Hell no. Or there you go, realistic. There we go.
Oh, look at this.
And the other one? Hell no.
Okay.
Have some fun with that one.
All right.
All right. Let's just
Maybe a little music bed underneath there, Mike. How about that?
I'll take
Let's
that.
Have a little fun.
Let's have a little fun
A
with it.
little music bed, maybe. Something to dress it up a little bit.
All right, let's start with our own division. The NFC North, the Detroit Lions. We see what they've done in the offseason so far. Or do you want to save the Lions? Do you want to save them for the end?
Whatever you say. You're leading the segment. You tell me.
Let's go with the
You're
Lions.
the maestro.
Well, then I'll maestro this thing to the tune of the NFC North. And we'll start with the Chicago Bears. They had Caleb Williams this season. Maybe they had Marvin Harrison as well with the 9th pick. Maybe they do something. But is this team for real? You talk about Montez
Hell no.
Sweat. What is realistically their goal? Now, if I say winning the North, is that realistic?
Hell no.
It's not realistic. So that would be hell no. All right. Can the Chicago Bears get to the playoffs? Realistic?
Realistic.
No? Okay. All right. Maz, I'll come to you. We'll switch up. Maz, I'll come to you about the Minnesota Vikings.
Okay.
A team in which you're always high on. No matter what, you always believe they have some slimy way of sneaking into the playoffs or slithering right through the Lions or the Green Bay Packers. Adding Sam Darnold, and depending on what they do in the draft, will they have a chance to win the NFC North?
Hell no. Not this year.
That's what I'm talking about. So you're true
Hell
on
no.
that. Considering their skill position,
Yeah.
considering the running back, the offensive line, I like that. But do they have a chance to beat the Lions next year? Realistic?
Out of 2 games?
Out of 2
Beat 'em
games.
1 out of 2?
And 1 out of 2.
It's realistic.
It's realistic.
Realistic.
All right.
I like the way you're doing this, by the way, where one person gets a team.
Yeah.
Because if we did everybody,
years.
we'd be here for 3 weeks.
Yeah, 3 weeks. three weeks. And we're going to skip some teams, too.
Right.
We're going to
Good.
skip some teams,
We're not going
too.
to skip the Packers, though.
No, we're not. And Ryan and Monty, I'll give you guys both a shot at that. And I'll ask you different questions. Ryan and Monty, Green Bay Packers have a chance to be in the NFC Championship game this coming season. Realistic or no?
Realistic.
Okay.
Realistic. I don't think so, but realistic.
Okay. Tom Masway asked you a question, and it is similar because I guess they would have to do this to get there. Green Bay takes over the division as king in the North by beating the Detroit Lions this season. Is that a realistic goal, or is it hell no?
That's a hell no this year. This is the Lions' year.
Okay. I was thinking you were going to be the other side of
Nope,
that because
this
you
is
know
the
you're a
Lions'
closet
year.
Green Bay guy.
Yeah, I'm a Lions guy.
Lions
Okay.
could play
First.
Green Bay in the NFC Championship.
I like that.
Lions will. This is their division. This is our time right now.
Okay, I love that. I love that for Mavs. Let's go to an AFC. How about we go to the counterpart, the AFC North?
Oh, tough division.
AFC North is a tough division. You got the Pittsburgh Steelers, who are the low man on the totem pole, but they're still pegged at 8.5 games. Maz, I come to you first with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Russell Wilson, who, by the way, did you see the comment he made?
We got, yeah.
Did you see the comment
What'd
he
he
made?
say?
He's the leader of men, of African American quarterbacks.
this
He's
is-
the reason.
Wait, what happened?
Hold on. This is a good pause break. Do you have that piece by back? Do you have the Russell Wilson stuff?
Russell Wilson.
Gotcha.
Oh man, put that up there. If you
I'll
do.
find it.
Yeah,
Okay.
you find it. Ryan, you're in for a treat.
Oh, man, I don't even know what he said.
You're in for a treat. We're sitting here talking
But
about the Pittsburgh
while
Steelers.
you're telling
Yeah,
me about the
100%.
Pittsburgh Steelers, I'd like to say hell no. At best, Russell Wilson is the 11th best quarterback in the AFC, not in the NFL. In the AFC, he's the 11th best quarterback. So I say no, they have no shot to win that division. They have no shot to make the playoffs. It's over for
Are
them.
you kidding?
It's interesting.
It's over for them.
They're better than they were. They were in the playoffs last
over
year.
for them.
They're just this tricky team, man. They're this tricky team that they make the playoffs. Mike Tomlin, they get to the playoffs, they find a way, they sneak in, but now they have two better quarterbacks than they've had in the past. I don't know where I lie on them. I'm going to need the season to start, but I just can't wait. And if we can't find this, I'll just say it.
I got the audio.
100%. That's all we need is the audio.
So here it is. Russell Wilson says he opened doors for black quarterbacks. Wow. Anyway, damn, so much for what Doug Williams did. Okay, but anyway, Shaq Harris, Marlon Briscoe. But anyway, I think one of the biggest blessings of my career so far is I've been fortunate to be able to open doors for others. Okay. So what role did Doug Williams play?
We can stop right here.
The first African.
Appreciate that, Pete. And I appreciate that. That goes out to Club Shay Shay with Shannon Sharp and Chad Ochocinco. Two friends of mine. One, Chad was so cold on the field. Routes were like nothing I'd ever seen.
Is he still eating McDonald's?
He does.
Right.
And he's very honest about it. He eats McDonald's and he saves money. But you hear that. And you hear something crazy like that. Just when you want to give Russell Wilson the ball. Pause. Just when you want to say Russell Wilson, you know what? You got out of a situation where Sean Payton, he went off on you. Nathaniel Hackett didn't have your back, didn't know what he was doing. You were a much better quarterback last year. You're going to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Then Russell comes out with the essence spread that he just did, and then he makes this comment that he opened doors, forgetting about the ones that paved the way before him. This is why you just guys
He mentioned Patrick Mahomes. He mentioned him.
he said he opened doors for Patrick Mahomes.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
So there's no Warren Moon, there's no Randall Cunningham, there's no Doug Williams. Anyway, getting back to the rest of the division, it's a hell no for me too. I'm gonna agree with you this year, Ryan Ermanni. I just can't see it. I don't see Justin Fields having enough time to get chemistry with that team, and I don't think Russell is the answer as well. Although, good luck.
I'm going to overrule you guys and say the Steelers will be a playoff team.
All right.
And a good playoff team at that.
Speaking of a playoff team last year, Maz, I asked you this. Is it reality that the Cleveland Browns, whose quarterback finally will be back this year, talking about Deshaun Watson, they made the playoffs last year with one Joe Flacco who was raking leaves at a certain part of the football season. Are they a chance to get to the AFC Championship and win this division?
Yeah. Realistic to me.
Okay.
To me, it's realistic. I think they have a lot of talent. They have a lot of talent. They won a lot of awards at the end of last year, if you remember, including Coach of the Year and Kevin Stefanski. That guy kept that team together. They went through 7 quarterbacks last year. If Deshaun Watson is even 3/4 of what he used to be, Nick Chubb, he's going to be out a while, right? We'll see. We'll see where they go.
He'll be back.
I hope he's back.
Yeah.
I hope he's back. I really believe Myles Garrett on the other side. They got a lot of talent, and they're going to be a tough out this year.
I'm going to tell you right now, there's going to be 3 teams that did not make the playoffs last year in the AFC. I guarantee you will make the playoffs this year in the AFC. You just want me to tell you who they are? You want to wait?
Go ahead.
The Jets, the Bengals, and the Chargers. Guaranteed.
Okay.
Guaranteed.
Chargers,
Jets, Bengals.
Look, I'm a Harbaugh fan, but like I said, I'll say it to you again. Have you seen their offense?
Miami, Cleveland, Pittsburgh. Those are the teams that are out.
So you bring up the Bengals. Let me ask you about this. When Joe Burrow was playing out of his mind in year 2 of his career, he gets to the NFL. He gets to the dance. That dance is called the Super Bowl. Since then, he's been injured, he's been nicked up, and he has not necessarily been the complete same. You believe in the Bengals when Joe Burrow is at his best, and he has to play like that second season? Or do you believe in the Bengals just in general, even if he's playing at 90?
No, yeah. I mean, if Joe Burrow's on the field, I believe in the Bengals.
Okay.
And that goes for every starting quarterback in the NFL. Like if, for instance, I think Houston is going to win the AFC North, right? Or the AFC Central, South. AFC South. Houston's going to win the AFC South. If C.J. Stroud goes down, I am not a believer that Houston will win.
Right.
You can do that for every NFL team.
Well, let me ask you this: since you jumped in, here we go. We were still with the AFC North.
Sure.
Last year, Baltimore Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson wins the MVP. He runs away with the MVP. His second, had an amazing year. They beat up on the San Francisco 49ers. We thought this was the team to beat. Well, they lost to the Kansas City Chiefs, and they were at home. Do you believe in the Baltimore Ravens? Or here's the question: do you see them as a team that cannot win 2 games in the playoffs. Is that realistic or unrealistic or hell no?
I think realistic, especially with the addition of Derrick Henry. I think that is one of the biggest offseason moves in the NFL because, again, having Derrick Henry forces you to run the football.
Right.
And I think they got away from everything they did in the play. And that's on the offensive coordinator, too, who's calling the plays. They wanted Lamar Jackson to sit back there in the pocket and throw the ball because they wanted to protect him from running. Well, they didn't have a run game. He was the run game. They didn't let him run in that playoff game. Well, if Derrick Henry's in your backfield, you're going to give him the football. So it's like by default, they changed the way they play in the playoffs. If Derrick Henry is healthy, I think this team is a real threat to make it to the Super Bowl in the AFC.
You bring up the Chargers, so you might as well stay with AFC. AFC North, realistic or not, Jim Harbaugh makes the playoffs.
Realistic.
Yeah, I don't want to go too far with that one.
Hell no.
Hell no. Okay, Mavs, tell me why.
I just told you, they have nothing on offense. You have a great quarterback in Justin Herbert that he fell in love with. They got nobody. Who are they gonna play? Who are they gonna start on offense? They have a pretty decent defense. I can't see them getting out of that division. I can't.
Well, the division is not very good.
No, it's not very good, and I still can't see them getting by it. Just my opinion.
Yeah, you're entitled to it. I'm not going to fight you.
Yeah.
So it bothers you that they're missing weapons. Obviously, no Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, running back.
They're going to have to rely on these rookies that they draft, that they go ahead and draft.
Well, they drafted Quentin Johnson last year.
I just don't see. Yeah, and he was
right.
He was nothing last year. We'll see how he does this year with a new offense and a new. Let's face it, Jim Harbaugh is going to mold this team. How long did it take him to get Michigan up to snuff? It took him a while. I think it'll take him a while.
He won 10 games first year, though.
Yeah.
He won 10 games first year.
How many games did L.A. win last year?
5.
5.
They won 5. You expect them to win 10?
Well, they had the lead in 12 of their losses.
Yeah.
They had the lead in the fourth quarter in 8 of their games.
Okay, but do you expect them to double their wins?
I mean,
I don't.
That's like, do you expect Minnesota to go 11-0 in one?
That's what I'm saying. I'll give them 3 more wins. I'll give them 8 wins. I don't think that gets them in the playoffs.
2, 3. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 one-score losses last year. 7, not 8. I misspoke. Sorry.
Realistic or not, sticking with that division, the Kansas City Chiefs, you're talking about they're going to lose Rashee Rice, or he's definitely going to miss some games. Whatever happens with that situation, that's getting a little bit more ugly. They lost in the offseason already. Another wide receiver, can't remember the name, Valdez Scantling left, although he didn't necessarily do that much for them last year. He did have a touchdown in the Super Bowl. It's a chance. Is this realistic or not that they don't make the playoffs?
Hell no.
No.
Because remember last year, we were sitting here. It was like, we don't know if the Kansas City Chiefs will be able to maintain, et cetera, et cetera. Then it looked like for a second they wouldn't, and they figured it out. Could this be the year that the mountain falls? Remember Travis Kelce turned it on at the end of the year. Does he have another one of those years? Or was it not an act in terms of him being broken down during the regular season?
I see him going 5-1 in their own division. So that's 5 wins right there.
Okay.
No, Kansas City is the best team in that division and top 3 team in the country, in the whole league.
Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in the league, and
can't bet against.
As long as he's quarterback of the Chiefs, as long as Andy Reid is the head coach, they're going to win the division. They're going to host playoff games.
They even went on the road last year and won.
First time ever.
Yeah.
AFC East, realistic or unrealistic, can be won by Maz. This question is for you most doubtedly. The New York Jets.
Yes.
The division seems to be up for grabs.
Realistic, very realistic.
It's realistic.
Very realistic, especially if they draft Brock Bowers in the first round. Give Aaron Rodgers the tight end target that he's always coveted.
Wouldn't be a bad look. I mean, he mixed Breece Hall with Brock Bowers. Mixed Brock Bowers with Garrett Wilson, with Mike Williams, who they just received from the
I'm
Chargers.
telling you, man, if he's healthy, they're
bad.
dangerous. Ryan said it. I'll say it again. They're dangerous if A-Rod plays.
Who's your sleeper team, Ryan Ermanni? You always have good sleeper team. Last year it was the Rams. The year before that it was Vikings, I want to say.
Well, last year I said the Rams and the Steelers and the Browns would make the playoffs.
And the Broncos.
I said, okay, I gave you 5 sleeper teams. 3 of them made the playoffs. If one of them made the playoffs, I think that would have been good. I gave you the
Broncos won the Super Bowl,
football
right?
team too.
Yeah, the Broncos won the Super Bowl.
I had football.
You
team.
did.
No, I didn't have the Broncos win the Super Bowl. I just thought they would make the playoffs. So I gave you Rams, Browns, Steelers, football team, and Broncos.
Yeah.
3 of those teams made the playoffs. This year, I'll give you. I just gave you 3 teams. I think the Jets. Let me pull my standings up here. Make sure I'm not repeating anybody. I'm going to give you the Jets. I'm going to give you the Bengals. And I'm going to give you the Chargers. I think the Chargers are a sleeper team for sure. In the NFC, I don't think there's any sleepers. In the NFC, I don't think there's any sleepers. I think the Rams and the 49ers
Are the Bears a sleeper
make the
potentially,
playoffs.
Ryan?
They would be a sleeper, but I just don't think they do anything.
Okay.
I think the Lions in Green Bay, guys, I think outside of Tampa, I think Tampa and Atlanta are going to be fighting for the South. So I don't know. I think 7 of the 8 playoff teams in the NFC are a lock.
Yeah. 7
of the 8 playoff teams in the NFC
I mean, 7 playoff
are
teams.
a lock.
7 playoff teams, right?
Excuse me.
6 of the 7?
6 of the 7 are a lock. 6 of the 7 playoff teams in the NFC are a lock. The Rams and the 49ers, lock. Lions and Packers, lock. Eagles and Cowboys, lock. Then the only one yet to be determined is the NFC South champion. That is it. Is it going to be the Bucks? Is it going to be the Falcons? I would probably say the Falcons.
I don't know if the Cowboys are a lot. Like I don't mind the other ones. I think you're spot on with the other. Man, the Cowboys are the one, man. There's so much dissension right now between Dak Prescott, the rest of the team, the Micah Parsons things that you mentioned, Ryan Money, how those things are leaked out. They're real. Even though they're getting leaked out, they're real. It just seems like they don't have the pulse down there in Dallas. I feel like each year it's getting a little bit worse. That team I don't trust.
They can win 9 games. They can win 10 games.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. They can win 10 games.
I love the Falcons in the South.
Yeah.
Okay. Kirk Cousins plays, it's over.
Then there you go. Okay.
If Cousins plays, it's over.
And I don't. If that's the case, just take your.
That's it.
I don't think the Bucks are gonna make the playoffs over the Rams, over the Cowboys, or over the Packers as a wild card.
Okay.
So
we'll see how Baker does now that he's making money.
Right. You know, he made $100
usually goes
million.
the opposite way.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So
what I'm saying.
do you guys think I'm?
No, I think you're right on.
I think you're spot on.
I think you're right on.
Seattle's gonna have a down year, I think.
AFC. If I went through those and tried to pick 7 teams, I'm gonna pick the Ravens. I'm gonna pick the Bengals. I'm gonna pick the Browns. I'm gonna pick the Jags to come back this year. I'm gonna pick the Jets.
I think Indianapolis.
I'm gonna pick the Bills.
You skipped the Texans.
I'm skipping the Texans.
Oh.
I'm picking the Bills, and I'm going to pick the Chiefs.
What about Indianapolis this year? Indianapolis won 9 games last year without their starting quarterback.
Yep.
He's back this year, and I believe they had hired somebody or signed somebody. Friday.
They got they paid Michael Pittman. They paid him Mike. But at the end of the day, with that, it's still going to be his rookie year essentially. That's the only thing you worry about with that situation, Ryan, is Anthony Richardson. Although he's a year in the game, he still hasn't played in games, so still technically going to be a rookie year. It's going to be interesting to see what Shane Steichen can get out of him. You know, he was a lot of hype.
They get a wide receiver over there. Look out.
Yeah.
And you're right. How can I leave the Texans out? They've gotten better.
I'm confused.
They've gotten better. They got Diggs.
Daniil Hunter.
Yeah, they got a lot better. I can't leave them out.
I read an article.
AFC is up for grabs.
I read an article that said they had 11 new bodies through free agency. Obviously, we know the blockbusters and Daniil Hunter and Stephon Diggs, but 11 new bodies, man, and a team that got to the second round of the playoffs and didn't necessarily look half bad, at least the first half, not in the second.
Can I give you a team that made the playoffs last year in the AFC that won't make the playoffs this year?
Let me see.
Dolphins.
Yeah.
Miami, I think, will take a step back this year.
You think Mike McDaniel is going to let them take a step back? I love him.
I don't know if it's up to him.
I feel like they lost a lot of players.
Yeah, I don't know if it's up to him. I think they lost a lot of talent.
I'm interested to see how Tua does this year. I'm not going to say a make or break year for Tua, but doesn't he really have to take the next step this year?
Doesn't it feel like every year is a make or break for Tua? Because I feel like last year was a make or break, and I feel like he did tremendously enough in the first 8-9 games Then all of a sudden it became a break end of the season. I think the year before that was, well, he's never started. And then he wins, 8 or 9 of the games that he played. I feel like every year right now is a make or break for Tua. Yeah.
Guys, can we take a break?
Let's do it.
Let's take a break. But first, a message from Premier Pet Supply.
You got it, guys. They are, hands down, Michigan's best pet store. You know it, family-owned and operated for over 30 years. 13 Metro Detroit locations, over 60 brands of food, the lowest prices available, and curbside delivery if you need it. They got you covered on that as well. And if you want to call up, they've got people to talk to you. They will talk you through your pets, nutritionists, right there on call. Check them out right now. It's premierpetsupply.com.
I'll give you more good news, but I'm also going to give you some bad news. And the bad news is that insurance rates are going up across the board in Michigan. And the good news is that Swiss Insurance is here to help. Right now, more than ever, it's critical for you to have your insurance reviewed. And Swiss will make sure that your carrier does not slip in extra fees or raise deductibles. Call Mark at Swiss Insurance today or visit SwissINS.com and tell them that Woodward Sports sent you. We'll be right back.
Congratulations to the real coach of the year, Motor City Dan Campbell.
Just put your head down and go to work. It's about to be fun, man. It's about to be fun.
Woodward Sports.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Is that an octopus in your pants, or are you just happy to see me? See what I did there? Go Red Wings! From Octopi Experts Woodward Sports.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
When it comes to chicken sandwiches, I got a sleeper for you, and that sleeper is the Chicken Shack Shake Shack sandwich. Oh my God, it is amazing. And now, if you go to Shake Shack with 10 locations around metropolitan Detroit, you can get a free Chicken Shack sandwich. All you got to do is use code word Woodward and purchase something up to $10. The crinkly fries are amazing. Their burgers are as amazing, but it's not about the burgers right now. It's about the Chicken Shack sandwich from Shake Shack. Code name Woodward.
Ryan just beat me.
I just
He
Ric
just
Flaired
beat me
him.
up, man.
Gave little Ric Flair.
I just Ric Flaired him.
Speaking of Ric Flair,
He likes slapping. He likes slapping all
The
this
Rock
stuff.
has been voted the WWE icon #1 of all time.
Yeah,
Based on his last run.
I don't hate it. I don't hate
Over
it.
Hulk Hogan?
Hulk's been ousted. In terms of the money made because of what Stone Cold did back
I
in.
don't care. That's through Hulk Hogan's name out there.
Hulk's yeah.
How about Bruno Sammartino?
Nobody cares
He
about
ain't
that.
make no
All
money.
right.
He ain't make no money. Money makers.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. So just the Ric Flair. Maz always wears these pullovers that are like kind of like the nylon-y that have a good kind of like smack
Good slapping
to it.
sound.
Oh, yeah.
Good slapping sound. And you like do the
Windbreakers.
body chop, like the Ric Flair
Oh.
body chop on Maz. It's got the best, like you think you're like a pro wrestler where you're just like,
I'm just here for your
those
amusement.
Ted
Oh,
DiBiase
man.
chops.
I'm here for your amusement.
yes,
I'm
you
just
are.
A clown
Thank you
you
for that.
That's all there is.
Well, I don't know about that. You're here for my amusement for
My
sure.
amusement, yeah.
But I'm laughing with you.
Of course.
Nah, that
Right.
of all.
Head at me as
All
well.
right, let's go around the NFL, shall we?
We shall. Bray, I'll start with a guy that you love and a guy I love. In Montez Sweat.
Ooh.
And Montez Sweat, now of the Chicago Bears, has said, hey, man, I'm not losing to the Chicago Bears this year. Period. He's already put it out there. So Bears and Packers, they already got a history. Now Sweat says we ain't losing to them.
It's interesting. I mean, they obviously have a rivalry. That NFC North is tight. The Lions have a rivalry with the Bears as well as the Packers. But when you get to the Packers and you get to the Bears, there has been a rivalry like no other, especially Aaron Rodgers. You see the comments that he made a couple years ago. He did the discount double check, which he brought back. Hadn't used in a while, and he said to the crowd, I own you. But when you look at the records, man, I want to say it's something like 21 of the last 25 games. The Bears have won in that. So he's right. You don't want to lose to the rival. Green Bay Packers fan talk a lot of stuff, but he's already coming out and saying it. We're not going to lose. Locker room material, but hey, if you go out there and back it up, man, it's about, does the team rally with them and go to the Packers and they accomplish business, or do the Packers rally against them as always? They've been whooping the Bears' butt for a very long time.
Just some talk, right? Just some smack talk
a little
early.
bit of smack talk.
Nothing else to do. How about the NFL is really loosening things up, let's say that, on uniforms. They are now going to allow teams to have not only an alternate helmet, but a third helmet if you would like to use it.
Love it.
As well. So I will ask you guys, what third helmet would you like to use for your Detroit Lions?
Very easy. The all-white. The all-white helmet with the all-white uniforms. They will rock those all-white uniforms all season long on the road, and they played awesome. I would love to see a white helmet on top of that.
Ray, you got one? I got one.
I want a matte black.
Matte black.
I want a matte black. I want a matte black with a crushed blue in there, man. I think it'd be real nice. Real nice.
Real nice.
Yeah, real nice. Yeah.
I want to see him go back to the Thanksgiving helmet. On Thanksgiving Day. The all silver, shiny.
Oh, yeah.
No decal, no nothing. And make sure you have silver on your uniform. Hopefully when the new uniforms come out next Thursday, we'll find out that gray is out and silver is back in. So if silver's back in,
I'll be that guy.
Go to the silver helmet.
I'll be that guy. What's the difference between gray and silver?
Silver shines, man. Gray is matte. Gray is pajamas. You saw their pajama uniforms last year and all these years? I hate those things. I hate them. Silver is look at Billy Sims' uniforms. That's what silver is. Okay, pal?
Man.
Shine was nice, man. The shine is good, even if you're going back to the Barry uniforms, even if you're going to metallic. Like, the shine is nice.
Shines real nice. Yeah. Shines bright like a diamond.
What?
Okay, I'm going to move on now. Jim Harbaugh. We love him.
Oh, this is fantastic.
We love him.
Do you see this, Bray?
This is at Michigan Pro Day at the Chargers
Get those
headquarters.
headphones on.
You ready for
Real
this?
treat.
Jim Harbaugh enjoying Michigan Pro Day.
Real treat.
Grant, all right, looking good. Good cut you got there, Grant.
Yeah, I told him that.
That is very fresh. Hey, what's up, Jeff? How you doing? I'm doing good. Good to see you, man.
Stuff all moved out?
Stuff's all moved out, but the cars are getting taken today.
How's everything been with you?
Pretty good, you know, just actually pretty great, you know. Pretty good, you know. Pretty good's my go-to, but actually I've been doing super great. Wait till you see our new facility. It's amazing.
When is it gonna be?
June, hopefully. June, July. Training camp for sure. But it's state of the art. Hey, I know who that is. Can only be one guy. Know. What's up, kid? Love you, man. Love you too, bro. You're not gonna out squeeze me. Oh. You got me there. You got me on the recoil. What's going on? How we doing, Brad? Good to see you. How we doing? What'd you run? How'd you do?
4.61.
Okay, 4.61. That's good.
Appreciate you for everything.
Oh yeah, man. Hey,
Bringing me in and everything.
Hey. Likewise. Right back at you. What's up, big guy? Good to see you, Stone.
How you doing?
Good. Ran into your parents. Saw your dad. Not your mom, your dad.
Oh, in the hotel.
In the hotel, yeah.
You told me.
Yeah.
And my sister dropped off like 200 pounds of chicken feed for you guys. Also.
200? Yeah. We used it.
Somewhere around that.
We used it. We used it.
Are you
Yeah.
bringing the chickens out to California?
No. The chickens are. They were picked up here, so family took them.
Someone adopted them?
Yeah, the chickens have been adopted.
No chickens in California, or?
I think they have them out there, but yeah, well, I mean, we couldn't take the chickens we have.
You guys should
all
build
the way.
like a little chicken coop in your backyard.
I will. If it's legal, I'm doing it. I love the chickens. Justin Herbert's got a little ranch up in Oregon.
Does he?
Yeah.
Really? Huh.
Seems like a cool guy.
Cool guy. Yeah, really cool guy.
I got some great guys over there.
Great guys. Derwin James.
Yeah.
I've seen a cat like that before. Yeah. As much as I love you guys, this guy is, I mean, the real deal. Oh, he hasn't missed a throw yet. He's 63 of 63 right now. 100%. He's just showing off now. He's showing off now. He's just showing off. He's just showing off now. Looks like Chicago. Shut it down. Shut it down. Shut it down. Yeah, that was a great day. I've seen some good pro days, but that was great.
Looks like Chicago.
You will never find somebody who enjoys ball more than that guy.
Oh,
just a football guy. It's incredible, man.
That's it.
You won't see a better video today, by the way.
That's fantastic. I want to be as happy as him.
Yep.
You win a national championship, you can be that happy.
Yeah.
But this is fun to watch because I know the levels of Jim Harbaugh. Like, we've all seen him, to be honest, publicly. But to be there with his start in 2011, to be there in terms of the players, in terms of how he was there, in terms of when you come here, in terms of how he had to grow and change here to get to where he is, man. He's just a much happier person. Like, you see his players. I know who that is. Dono. I know who that is. He just had to get to that place, man. But it takes wanting to get to that place. It takes wanting to open up, to evolve, to adapt, where you can now talk to players and give the players a voice. He's come through so much and came on the other side, and it's fun. I mean, he won his national championship. He comes back as the Chargers coach. He's still honest, though. You see what he said? He said, man, I love you guys, but
much as I love you guys,
I
really love that Derwin James.
Smart guy.
Now, Bray, take us into the mind, into the coach, the actual professional coach, Jim Harbaugh, because you played on his 49er team. Is he different than he is now?
He's got to be different than he was 15 years ago.
Yeah, he's definitely different. I think, and he's going to take some of this because, look, the game is evolving. Guys are more temperamental. Guys are more sensitive. Guys didn't get coached as hard as we did. I didn't get coached as hard as the TOs before me. They didn't get coached as hard as the Jerry Rices before them. So the game evolves, and I think he has too. I think you see the love from his players. When you can connect with your players, it doesn't matter at what level, because you'll be able to have that connectivity, and that's what you see his players coming to him. Hey, coach, I got you 200 pounds of chicken feed. Hey, Donovan Edwards comes up behind him. Love you, coach. Thank you. Appreciate you for what you did. I think that's the space in where he grew. He was always great football mind. He was always great as a coach. But you got to be able to connect to players. You got to be able to listen to players at times and dial, your personality or your bravado back. And I think that's where he's at now. That's how they succeed at Michigan, along with Ben Herbert. And that's how he's going to succeed in the NFL. Like, he understands the game adapts. The game evolves. Like, the game gets younger. So you have to change your thought process on how to connect with players.
And another point about that video, too, for as much as we have talked about, perhaps some contention there on the way out, maybe leaving the players high and dry, perhaps. It did not feel like that.
That's a great point.
It just feels like that is how adults handle business, too. Communicate with each other. It's a lot easier to communicate perhaps once you've reached your goals and all that stuff, and I understand that, but nonetheless, it feels like to a man. Look at Donovan Edwards, the way he embraced Jim Harbaugh. Do you think Jim Harbaugh surprised Donovan Edwards by leaving Michigan and going to the NFL? That did not look like a player that had any animosity towards his head coach for leaving Michigan. That looked like a player who knew exactly what Jim Harbaugh was going to do because Jim Harbaugh was honest with those players.
We had Will Anderson on our show.
Will Johnson, step of the way. Will Johnson's another one. Said, hey, do you know what Jim Harbaugh is going to do? I'm not asking you to reveal it, but yes, we know what they're going to what is going to happen. And that's just, you saw there him, having free reign of the place, and it Jim Harbaugh and Sharon Moore kind of said this is like a pro-college partnership kind of thing, too. And by watching Jim Harbaugh walk around Schembechler Hall, it does feel like that was the truth.
Players like at every level, Maz and Ryan and Mike and Pete, they like transparency. I don't care if I'm 12 years old.
Forget about players. Anybody in business.
Anybody in
life.
100%. So anybody in life, you just want transparency. Tell me what it is, where I'm at in this program, where I'm at in this system. What are my chances? What are my options? That's what Jim Harbaugh has done with these young men. At the University of Michigan, he's kept it funky with him. He's told him the real. He's kept it straight. Yo, this is what it is. This is where you are. This is what your potential can be. This is how you get to here. This is what you do X, Y, Z. This is a season we're focusing on. I'm not focusing on the off season or am I going to be in the NFL next year. Maybe I am, maybe I'm not. But in this moment, I'm the head coach of the University of Michigan. So let's get this thing rocking and rolling. And they did that last year. So when you're honest, like that's where you get the love from anyone, as Ryan and Maya said. But you see those players, they came to him because Jim was honest with them. Much like we didn't know what was going on, and 2 years ago we thought he wasn't honest, and he sprung it on his players. Jim's just been an honest guy for these players the last 4 years all along.
Hey, you heard about the locker room. He was talking about the new facility.
Oh, yeah.
Jim Harbaugh is rearranging the Chargers locker room. That's correct, man?
Star
It is
status,
correct.
star system.
Let's check it out.
I'm actually
Never mind.
I'm actually eager.
You put it in there, Pete.
It's not on today's list. Thank you very much.
It's not?
Nope, so I took it out.
It's on 312. Look 4 or 5.
I only go on my run.
Yeah, this
I only go by
Carbs,
my run.
rearranging. Oh, hey.
Four
Yeah.
stories.
Come on, man.
All
Get
How about
it together.
that?
Very good.
We'll
We'll take a break.
That's all me.
Well, it's all right. We'll
Oh,
take our
yeah.
last break. That's okay. We'll take our last break. We'll continue with the NFL.
Yes.
Something happened in Philadelphia today that you have to see. I had to rub my eyes to make sure it was real and it wasn't from the New York porch.
And how about those Pistons?
Oh, how about them? But first, a message from Guardian Alarm.
That's right. What happens when you see that black and yellow sign out in front of your house? It tells the bad guys, and especially a bad technical director like myself, one thing.
Stay out.
Stay out.
It's a new year. Let Guardian Alarm offer you customized solutions from real experts, 24/7 professional monitoring and technology backed by people, and that technology has been proven to work, and those people have been proven to care. Call 1-800.
Stay out.
That's 1-800.
Stay out.
Call them today and tell them Woodward Sports sent you. We'll be right back.
Thank you to the Detroit Lions and Sheila Ham for the best season in Lions history. Now it's time to let Brad Holmes cook. Woodward Sports.
Any Lady James haircuts for men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady James today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady James has to offer. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady James haircuts for men. It's wicked awesome.
Is that an octopus in your pants, or are you just happy to see me? See what I did there? Go Red Wings! From Octopi Experts Woodward Sports.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
You smell that? That's Brad Holmes cooking. And the off-season smells good. Woodward Sports.
Tell you about the Boys and Girls Club of Southeastern Michigan and the Jerome Bettis Bus Stops Here Foundation, proud to present the 3C Sports Conference to educate, inform, and inspire players, parents, and coaches in our local communities, featuring impactful speakers like Jerome Bettis, Eddie George, and Adam Schefter, April 24th through the 26th. For more information and tickets, you can scan that QR code right there on your screen right now. Sign up today. It is fantastic stuff. The Boys and Girls Club, Jerome Bettis, doing great things.
Go Bus.
Absolutely. Want to finish up a couple of NFL
on the bus
topics, and then, of course, we'll get to what happened in Philadelphia today.
Did you guys know the Rams have not had? We talked about
that.
We haven't had a first-round pick.
Jared Goff.
Since Jared Goff. That's a long, long way away, and the Rams need him, I guess. let's face it, what'd they say? F those picks. They won a Super Bowl. But now, rebuilding, got yourself a draft pick again.
Not only did they win a Super Bowl, but they got back to the playoffs after only 1 year of having a down year. And, oh, by the way, their quarterback was injured half the year.
Yeah.
Of that down year. So I think that they've done pretty good. And many people expect them to be back in the playoffs this year. And once you're in, I mean, would it have shocked anybody if they beat the Lions this year in the playoffs?
And that's where I was going with it, man. Not only did they get back Ryan and Mike, like they put themselves in a situation where they were a pretty formidable NFC team. I mean, they had a chance. 2 blown calls by the referees. Look, I love my Lions. 2 blown calls by the referees cost them the game, essentially. They're a team that was really good last year. And then they shored up their line this offseason. Jonah Jackson, most notably from the Detroit Lions. This team can be dangerous.
Justin Jefferson is, he always talks. Wide receivers talk, Braylon. I'm sorry. You wide receivers talk. Justin Jefferson has put it out there, and he says, well, Stephon Diggs, go on and on. He said he's jealous of the Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase combo. Their camaraderie, and he doesn't have that right now because he lost his quarterback.
100%. I would think that's pretty legit.
First of all, we mean wide receivers talk a lot. We have to, man. We play a position.
Got to get the ball.
We also play a position that everybody's keying in on, focusing on. So it gets highlighted when you mess up more than when you don't. So nobody cares about an offensive guard when he misses a pulling because you don't even know he missed a pulling play.
Right.
But
you're right.
Going back to that situation, like I would be pissed too. These guys played on the same team. Joe Burrow came out during the draft with Jamar Chase a year after Justin Jefferson had broken the rookie records for wide receiver. He came out and said, I love Justin, but he knows Jamar is better. I would be pissed too. We played the same team. I've broken records. I'm considered the best receiver in the league. And also, you playing with one of the best quarterbacks in the league. I'd be a little jealous too. I wouldn't go public though, man.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, this is a little catty. Detroit Cats, we're not really like that. We won't move like that, but little catty. I understand it, but a little feminine.
Easier to say, though, when you don't have a quarterback now either.
True.
Right? I mean, Kirk Cousins is gone. It's not like you said it when he had Kirk Cousins.
Right.
You know.
It's almost like a preparation for, like, if I have a bad year, it's because
he kind of talked when Kirk was here, too. He did. Am I wrong?
No.
No, you're not.
Very good.
You're not.
How about, I bet you he'd be jealous of Stephon Diggs because Diggs is now in a new place. And he's already bonding with C.J. Stroud. Check it out. Look at this.
Oh, gorgeous.
Gorgeous.
I'd love to see a little football. I was watching, I was walking in studio, and I don't know what channel they had on over there at Lady Jane's, but it was a replay of Ohio State and Wisconsin on a Saturday night or something like that. Like, can you imagine if you had some football tomorrow?
It'll be nice.
You know,
It'll be nice.
It's funny.
Sucks that we don't.
We got baseball.
It's funny you mentioned Penn State. Speaking of Penn State, just talking about the situation. Isn't it amazing what a situation and a player can look like just in a better system? What Stephon Diggs, Brian Daboll leaves, Ken Dorsey doesn't know what he's doing. Joe Brady relies heavy on the run, isolates, kind of ices Stephon Diggs out of the offenses essentially. Now he's gonna be down there with the Texans offense, and it's gonna be fun to watch, man. They got a great offense down there. They're running much like Kyle Shanahan, the Justin McVay type style offenses. Tank Dell, Nico Collins. Now you add Stephon Diggs,
good.
Dalton Schultz.
Really good.
It'll be fun to watch. They're one of the more skilled positions in the league. Go ahead, Ryan.
Yeah, I was going to say, you said, well, we got baseball. Do we have baseball tonight, you think?
I don't know. I think they got to try to squeeze it in.
Nah.
Because they had the rain out yesterday.
They got 2 tomorrow.
They got 2 tomorrow. And, the Twins come here often, so maybe they don't play tonight. Who the hell wants to play in this crap? But it's supposed to stop around 7 o'clock, so they'll take care of the field. Last NFL note of the week. Did you know that the Seahawks outbid the L.A. Rams for Sam Howell from the Washington football team, as Ryan likes to call him? So the Rams wanted Sam Howell, who I like. I really like him. Can you imagine if Sean McVay got his hands on Sam Howell behind Matthew Stafford? I think Sam Howell, that would have been a much better spot for him. He goes to the Seahawks. No more Pete Carroll. He's got Geno Smith there. I think the Rams were the much better spot for Sam Howell.
You kind of saw what Sean McVay did with Baker Mayfield.
Yep.
You know, I mean, without that stint in L.A. last year with Sean McVay, who knows if Baker Mayfield becomes the quarterback for Tampa Bay this year without that experience of Sean McVay.
Facts.
100% it goes to smart people who know smart players. It's the same thing I talk about Sam Darnold in terms of the people that like him. They don't think he's great, but at the end of the day, he can win you some games. I think it's the same thing with Sean McVay. He thought Baker Mayfield was a guy that can win some games under his system. He also thinks that Sam Howell is a good guy. 5 games last year, he had over 350 passing yards. He had his team in situations to win games at times. So there is something there to Sam Howell. It's about getting around the right people. And I think we know for a fact Sean McVay is the right type of people.
No doubt.
All right. Yeah. You got basketball on your mind.
Absolutely. The Pistons tonight, and I'll tell you, they have 13 wins on the season. And this basketball team is I don't even know what to say about them, guys.
You can say that they clinched the worst record in franchise history.
And they did.
They can't win more than 15 games. They're going to finish with 13 wins. So
they're in Dallas tonight.
Yeah, they're going to lose.
And
they're
then
going to lose to the Spurs.
At Spurs.
They're going to lose to Victor.
Yeah.
So they're going to finish 13-68.
Such a shame. Such a shame. I was talking to a guy today. He's a huge Pistons fan. And
69, excuse me.
Yeah, and he said he watched three games this year that he remembers sitting down and like watching the Pistons.
Yeah. The 79-80 team had the record at 16-66. So this team that we watched together is the worst team in Pistons history, including Fort Wayne.
And I feel bad because I went to 3 games in person. I saw 3 L's in person.
I went to at least 3.
Well, you know, and part of this too, the hard part about this too is you literally have no confidence in the organization. There's zero confidence that this organization can dig out of this. And, you know, people talk about, well, the Pistons are one of, 7 or 8 franchises in the NBA that have won 3 championships. They are a proud franchise in the NBA. Yes, but no. And we mentioned this yesterday. It was Bill Davidson's ownership that made Detroit's basketball franchise a world champion 3 times over.
Yeah.
It was Bill Davidson's franchise that made this organization among the best in professional sports, not just the NBA.
First to have their own plane.
Absolutely. And they had their own building.
Yes.
They didn't have to play at the Silver Dome or Joe Louis Arena or anything like that.
Dallas Auburn Hills.
They had their practice facility 10 yards away from the Palace.
This organization, currently, the men in charge of this, that's not them.
No.
I have no confidence that the Detroit Pistons will turn it around. I have no confidence they will ever turn it around. And I have no confidence that they will make the right decisions this offseason. Yes, you can fire Troy Weaver all you want. You can fire Arn Tellem all you want. But do you have any degree of confidence that the people they bring in are going to be the right people for the job?
No, you don't.
You have no confidence in that whatsoever.
Right.
You do not.
So, I mean,
Sad.
you just spinning your wheels here. I mean, that's just how I feel about it.
No, you're right. And we've been beating this dead horse for a while, so no need to beat it up anymore, man. But you're absolutely correct. You have no confidence in the Detroit Pistons. And after they made those trades, not those trades, but those deals, when they started bringing in guys like Josh Smith and Tracy McGrady, and when they made that deal, the biggest one notably, man, once they did Chauncey Billups for AI, we knew what it was. So nothing to talk about. Not for a while. The season be over with, and I'm sure we won't talk about anything in the offseason either. To the lottery pick, which we know we're going to get what? Oh, let me guess, 3 this year.
Right.
They'll bump us up 1.
But again, even if you get to 1 this year, what does it matter?
Who's there?
You're going to get another 18, 19-year-old kid that is not going to be a superstar in this game. Anthony Edwards is not in this draft. Anthony Bennett is.
You ain't never lied. You ain't lying. Michael Olowokandi in this draft.
Yeah. Kevin Durant, LeBron James, not in this draft.
It's because college basketball, no one's staying.
Well,
no one stays there to learn the game, to come out and be that player.
But there's no Euro even. This has become a Euro league with the Tedecumbo and Giannis, Luka Doncic.
Luka Doncic, and he went two. And Luka went 2. No, Luka went 1, and they switched. Giannis went 11. Victor Wembanyama last year went 1, most notably.
Wembanyama. You know,
Amazing player.
So, I don't know, man.
Weekend plans, Ryan and Monty.
Weekend plans. I'm going to a bat mitzvah tomorrow.
Is this your first one?
First one.
Look, I am.
Yeah.
There you go.
Don't you have an Allen Iverson for me?
Well, he asked me what I was doing this
I'm
weekend.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
I was
you
just
were
telling
wrapping
him.
up the show already.
Well, he was just asking me, I think.
My bad.
But yes, Allen Iverson statue in Philadelphia. No audio on this.
Right, so, ladies and gentlemen, we can keep the volume up on this. We'll talk through it. This has got to be the most embarrassing. This is you know what this reminds me of? It's been a bad week for statues. You see Detroit gets the Detroit letters on the road in Detroit off the freeway, and it's horrible. This statue is even worse, and I don't even think that's possible. Excuse me. It's no way possible you do this to Allen Iverson, one of the best basketball players of all time, and one of the most influential.
He's taller, if you're just listening, he's taller than the actual statue itself.
Wow.
Like, you know who this is? This isn't a statue of Allen Iverson. This is a statue of Little Penny.
It's Little Penny.
It's Little Penny. This is all you need now is a Chris Rock voice.
It's
This is Little Penny. Like,
oh my God,
this is a Detroit thing to do. Actually, you know what? Philadelphia, I'm glad, because now we can no longer have to talk about the Detroit sign. We can talk about the Allen Iverson statue, which is horrible.
Who makes that call?
Hey, this is a Washington Redskins / Commanders type of a move.
Sean Taylor with the different.
Yes, exactly. This is that type of move.
Oh man, had to show you that, guys. All right,
awful.
Hell of a week, guys. Bray, get us out of here. What are you doing this weekend?
Watching Tiger Woods, man.
He's
not gonna win, but let's see what Tony Scheffler's gonna do. This is in a horrible spot.
Scotty Scheffler.
Scotty Scheffler. Tony Scheffler played football.
Hey, Lakers, you got to play the Nuggets.
They can beat the Nuggets.
No, they can't.
They can beat the Nuggets.
No, they can't.
Well, look, have a good weekend. We appreciate the support as always. Support Tiger Woods. Support us as well. Ermanni and Edwards with Maz. Shout out to my man Pistol Pete in the booth, as well as Silent Mike in the other booth. Uncle Maz, we love you, and we will see you guys next week. Go Wings.